Okay, I'd like to put together a quick little video here and something I'd like to show customers. With all the automation that we're kind of selling these days, and telling people that we can use tool break detect to make sure a tool didn't break and their cycle's good. One thing I think we need to talk more about is the measuring cycles and how we can utilize that for inspection and making sure your part's good whenever you're using automation. There would be nothing worse than coming in the morning and seeing 500 parts and your tool didn't break and you're like, oh wow, this is fantastic, my machine ran all night, and then you check your part and your part's wrong. So I like to teach them the measuring cycles, but one other thing I like to add is not all the people have the money to spend on software for the machine for doing these inspection reports. So one thing I'd like to do is I like to connect to my computer. My computer's connected to the machine, and I map the user data folder to a drive on my computer. And once I do that, I can go to user data here and create a deprint section, usually to my media, and just kind of show that is functioning. I have a blank deprint program 1 here, and I'm just going to press deprint start. So now I actually have a file. It says there's a deprint file there now. So let's go back to my other program, which is just going to be a program that does some inspection on the machine here. But the next step is I want to go to my computer and I want to open Excel. And once I open Excel, I want to create a new blank workbook. And I want to use the get data function. So under data, we go to get data from file, from text, comma, separated value. And then you got to go down to the drive that you had and create it. Go to the My Media folder. Switch to all files here. Choose the deprint file. So now this is going to pull that deprint file. You want to hit load right into Microsoft Excel. And the neat thing about this is if you go to the refresh here, the drop down, connection properties, you can change the refresh rate. So I like to set it to like every minute and enable fast data load like that. Hit OK. Now in 1 minute intervals, it's going to check this. Check that deprint folder and see if there's been any changes to it. So let me go to the end of my program here and just run the inspection that I created. Again, this inspection program is completely created through the Vps measuring cycles. And I come in and just do some checking of the part. I even have an engraving of the part, like that's part number 16. And I'll marry this sheet using the variable in 10599 for the engraving to one of the numbers for my part count here, so I can have a sheet that's directly corresponding to the part that it's currently checking. So in 1 minute intervals, you'll see this start to load, and any changes that have been done to the deprint file are now added here. So it kind of streams and keeps building on top of each other. So it hasn't actually physically deprinted anything yet. It's still taking measurements for setting like the work offset, figuring out parts in array location. But once it gets to the deprint section in my program, where it's got to deprint all the values out, it will query here and fill the entire page up. And then the next part will build on top of that, on top of that, on top of that. So you can have a long live stream of your part inspection right into Microsoft Excel. Save you a ton of money not buying extra software, and works great with the pause control. Just give this, fortunately we have to wait a minute because the fastest interval you can have on this refresh is 1 minute. I've tried 0.5, it won't accept it like that. If you do get impatient at any point, you can just hit the refresh button. So at a point here, it's still doing inspections. Oh, I looked away for 1 second. So it deprinted all that value, all those values, into a sheet. Now you can lay this out any way you want. You can have backgrounds to this. It's Microsoft Excel. You can do whatever you want. But you can see the beginning, I have start, which was my test, you got to have a file there for Excel to find, and then the part number is part count 16, the part number is 16, machine serial number, part serial number, date, time, which feature, what it measured, the tolerance, and if it's out of tolerance. And this will keep building on top of this all of the inspections I have for my part. Like feature number 4 was a diameter. That was the last thing I did. And now you could save this report instead of trying to copy and paste it from like putty, trying to find a way to do that. Microsoft Excel will do it straight from your computer. You can plug this right into your machine through your Ethernet port. You can see now my inspection port's done. Now it will query for a minute. Well, it's querying now. And if I hit refresh, then it will do an inspection report.